So many homeless people, and I know we all think something needs to be done about this, but then it's wonderful to see that something is being done about this.
We're really dedicated to expanding choices for people, to make sure that people have more choices to get around so that they're not sort of fated to be stuck in traffic gridlock in a single occupancy vehicle.
For me, as a mom, I wanted to show some affection and appreciation for all the other moms that are in the struggle alongside with everyone else.
Happy Mother's Day!
Hello everyone, I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. The city of Los Angeles kicked off Asian Pacific American Heritage Month with an opening ceremony that included Public Works Commissioner Jessica Caloza and council members John Lee and Nithya Raman. The ceremony focused on why APA Heritage Month is so important and recognized this year's RISE Award recipients.
I'd like to welcome you to the opening ceremony for the City of Los Angeles' celebration of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
This year's celebration is especially significant, following a year of increased attacks and hate directed at the AAPI community. It's been an incredibly difficult year.
If the events of this last year has taught us anything, it is that we must talk about the AAPI experience. We must learn our history and we must tell our stories because our stories are part of the American history.
I am so excited now to introduce our 2021 RISE Awards.
I am deeply humbled and honored to receive this RISE Award from the City of Los Angeles during Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. When I was 17, I moved to Los Angeles to attend USC, and the moment I did so, this whole world opened up to me. This city, one of the most diverse on earth, just welcomed me with open arms and introduced me to a vast array of cultures that excited, inspired, and enriched me.
First of all, thank you so much for giving me the RISE Award for Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. It's such an honor to share our story with the entire community. I believe if we know each other more, we will be closer friends.
I'm thankful for our fierce and powerful API community, and also so thankful that in this moment, the API community isn't alone, that we look to our left and look to our right, and we see our friends, our allies, our partners standing with us in solidarity, in unity, in allyship. And that's exciting because it shows who we are as a state.
We need to work together to address what's happening in our communities. We need to develop these comprehensive solutions. It is only when we come together and partner that we are going to stop AAPI hate.
I love this kickoff and celebration, and I also see it as a call to get really active and involved. Now is the time, and what a blessing. This is super dope. I love this. Thank you guys so much. Major love. Thank you to everyone.
Reopening Los Angeles means the return of shared public resources. Recently, council member Mike Bonin and the good folks over at Metro LA cut a new ribbon to relaunch the Metro Bike Share program in District 11. Take a look, or take a ride.
Metro, working closely with the City of Los Angeles and its Department of Transportation, today announces the relaunch of its Metro Bike Share system here on the West Side.
We're really dedicated to expanding choices for people, to make sure that people have more choices to get around so that they're not sort of fated to be stuck in traffic gridlock in a single occupancy vehicle.
Este es un programa que fue diseñado para las personas que no tienen mucha experiencia en este tipo de programa. Es el primer programa que existe en la ciudad de Los Ángeles y en el condado de Los Ángeles, y el diseño del programa es para que todos lo podamos usar.
Venga y utilice las bicicletas, son de fácil uso. Tenemos 54 estaciones que estamos reabriendo y vamos a agregar 13 más en toda la parte oeste de la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
This is a huge step for us in getting off fossil fuels and relieving congestion here in Los Angeles.
These are safe ways to get around. They are the ways that our essential workers got around to keep all of us going during the last year. And we owe it to them and to ourselves to continue to support these clean and equitable investments in our city. 2, 1.
Even in Los Angeles, the issue of immigration status deters many in our communities from getting the aid and services available to them, like getting the COVID-19 vaccine, for example. So CHIRLA, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, and the Consulate General of Mexico held a pop-up vaccination event to encourage people in the Hispanic community to get vaccinated.
Una de las armas más poderosas que tenemos para poder regresar a la normalidad, para acabar esta pandemia, es la vacuna. No existe otro medicamento que pueda salvar nuestras vidas como la vacuna. Por eso es que nosotros aplaudimos los esfuerzos colectivos que está haciendo la ciudad de Los Ángeles para traer ese acceso a las vacunas a nuestra comunidad. Parte de este programa es que estamos llevando esas vacunas sin hacer citas, sin preguntarles a las personas sobre estatus migratorios. Lo que nos interesa más que nada es que toda la gente se vacune.
For the Consulate General of Mexico in Los Angeles and the Ventanilla de Salud, it's really important to have these vaccination clinics in collaboration with CHIRLA and Los Angeles City, because we need to eliminate any barrier for our Hispanic community to get vaccinated. We know the impact that this virus has represented for our community, and we want them to have opportunities to stop this spread.
First, I asked about my options, many brands, shots, and I convinced myself that it doesn't matter which brand it is. I have to get the shot to end this pandemic and be able to take care of my loved ones. I feel safe now, actually. It makes me feel relieved that I finally got it, and looking forward to getting my second dose.
Most of our Hispanic community has no legal status here in the country. They have essential works. They couldn't stop, so they kept working, and that meant that a lot of our people died or maybe had real difficulty with the virus. So that's why it's really important for us to support the efforts of vaccination.
Que no hay que creer en esos mitos, que hay que venir a vacunarse, porque eso es bueno y así podemos parar esto, para que de una vez por todas se acabe, ¿no? Y podamos ayudar a los demás, que ya volvamos a la normalidad, ¿no? Y recuperar lo que hemos perdido. Que mucho perdimos dinero, perdimos trabajo, y ahorita con esto hay que vacunarse, ¿no?
As one of the communities hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Pico Union Project has been diligent in holding its twice-a-week food giveaways, providing families and residents with what relief they can. Recently, healthcare provider Curative joined them in a day of giveaways and added the opportunity to be vaccinated. And Channel 35 was there.
This is a COVID vaccine site this is I think our 7th time we've been a COVID vaccine site. This is one of the hardest hit districts in Los Angeles, over 1,300 deaths from COVID. Every week we distribute food to about 2,000 families on Friday and Tuesday.
We are here today at the Pico Union Project. We're vaccinating approximately 300 people. The community has a food drive, and so we are just trying to encourage them to get vaccines with the Johnson & Johnson today, which is a one-and-done shot. We're excited because it's a safe vaccine, and much safer to get the vaccine than to get COVID.
The moment right now to do it, because our health is better than anything else. There is nothing to compare to.
I think events like this do so much for the morale of the community. I think having people from the community lifting their neighbors up and their neighbors seeing them putting in the work it's a beautiful thing, especially in the middle of a really tough year.
Here in Pico Union that's been severely impacted by COVID-19. This is a place, ground zero for us, that we want to respond, and we want to mitigate some of the impact of the pandemic by being here and providing food and vaccines.
Vaccines are easy to find now, and we're encouraging everybody to do it 16 and up. So We hope you come out and get vaccinated.
Councilmember Kevin DeLeon was on hand to honor a beacon of the Asian American community. Lawyer and civil rights advocate Rose OCHI was remembered this week in Little Tokyo with a street named in her honor. Check this out.
Rose OCHI, without a doubt, was an Angelino and Japanese American civil rights champion. Rose and her family were uprooted from their Boyle Heights home just to the east of us across that bridge and imprisoned at the Rohr detention camp in Arkansas. When her family came back and resettled in East LA after the war, Rose graduated from Roosevelt High to UCLA to Cal State LA. And ultimately, she received her law degree from Loyola Law School here in the great city of LA.
Today, we honor the accomplishments and contributions of a remarkable woman. Rose's entire life was dedicated to ensuring equity and justice for all.
Yo me siento bien honrado estar aquí para compartir algunas palabras muy breves con toda nuestra gente aquí, particularmente nuestra gente de Japón, americana, aquí en Little Tokyo, aquí en la ciudad de Los Ángeles, para celebrar una gran mujer, una gran lideresa en Rose OCHI. Today, we proclaim that here in Little Tokyo, we have today Rose OCHI Square, dedicated to this woman, to this pioneer. 3, 2, 1, 0.
This is the center of the Japanese community from before the war. And I think, oh man, that's just out of this world, you know.
We jump from honoring a trailblazing woman in District 14 to a Latina trailblazer, similarly celebrated for her efforts towards equality for her community. Councilmember Curran Price oversees the groundbreaking of the Dolores Huerta Apartments in Council District 9.
I'm so excited that you're here to join me as we present the Dolores Huerta Apartments to our CD9 community.
We know that this is a dream come true for so many of us because as we travel our streets and we see so many homeless people, and I know we all think something should be done about this, but then it's wonderful to see that something is being done about this.
Most permanent supportive housing takes 5 to 7 years to aggregate the capital, to close the financing, and to complete the construction. Our model, it's 20 months. And I'm thrilled to say this project, from the financing to the closing to the end of construction, has reduced that by even a third more, to 13 months total.
Because of our efforts, we're going to be back in the fall to celebrate our ribbon cutting. And that's how we fast track housing here in CD9.
Once the site is up, we'll be providing intensive case management for those who are interested in mental health support, substance use support, and really making sure that people have established social connections.
Never before has a developer built permanent supportive housing on city-owned land with private funds from the private sector. What we're doing here should be a model of how to tackle homelessness for this great city of ours and the state of California.
I'm very grateful for all of the work that you're doing, and yes, we can make it happen. Sí se puede. Gracias. Thank you.
Mayor Garcetti celebrates National Small Business Day at an East Valley restaurant. District 15 holds a vaccine event, and City Attorney Mike Feuer sets the record straight on evictions. These stories up next on City Beat.
Mayor Eric Garcetti visited Farm Table Restaurant in the East Valley in commemoration of National Small Business Day.
One of the things that I've asked our City Hall to do and proposed in our budget to our City Council, which they're voting on right now, is to cut costs for businesses, to reduce red tape, to reduce those fees and those permits that sometimes stand in the way of getting something stood up again.
The mayor championed LA residents for supporting small businesses and discussed items like the permanent expansion of al fresco dining.
We've got a great budget that will help us give recovery checks, comeback checks we're calling them, to 5,000 businesses of $5,000. No questions asked.
The Cabrillo Marine Aquarium staff rolled up their sleeves for a giveaway event in District 15.
Cabrillo Marine Aquarium has been closed, just like everybody else, due to the COVID crisis. So we've tried to do things throughout our time off to help our community. We've had a couple blood drives, and today we're doing a food distribution event.
Southern California Gas and the energy corporation Valero were among the sponsors of the event. Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center was on site to offer COVID-19 vaccinations. The event was also supported by the Wilmington YMCA and Councilmember Joe Buscaino. A federal judge has issued a sweeping ruling that would revoke a pandemic eviction moratorium put in place by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But the city of Los Angeles is proudly doing things differently.
You might have heard of a recent federal court decision that struck down the nationwide eviction moratorium. Let me be clear, this ruling has no impact on California's or the city of Los Angeles' laws that protect tenants, and those laws are still in effect.
In his weekly Message from Mike, City Attorney Feuer reasserts that the nationwide eviction moratorium is not an issue for LA or California residents due to local protections.
If you're an LA city tenant and you believe that your landlord is violating local or state law, you can contact the Housing and Community Investment Department's hotline. That's at 1-866-557-7368.
With the impact of the pandemic gradually subsiding, the awareness of pre-existing epidemics in our society has begun to resurface in awareness. One such epidemic is the tragic rise of opioid addictions. Maria Hall-Brown sat down with DEA Special Agent in Charge, Bill Bodner, to discuss the prevalence of overdoses and the dangers of fentanyl.
The CDC reported over 81,000 overdose deaths for the 12 months ending in May of 2020. That's a tragic scenario, but here to help us understand what's going on, I am delighted to be joined by the DEA Special Agent in Charge, Bill Bodner.
The root of this problem was 15 years ago, Maria. We started with an opiate epidemic that was really driven by prescription drugs. But what's happened? We have these people that are addicted, and they've turned to the black market to get prescription drugs. And unfortunately, these black market prescription drugs contain fentanyl.
And the amount required to actually kill you is minuscule.
Tiny. It could be 2 milligrams. 2 milligrams. 2 milligrams could be enough to kill you. And in these pills, the dosing is very inconsistent. So even if you knew what the drug was, which many times people don't, they think it's something else, but even if you knew what it was, it's still so dangerous to take because you don't know the dose.
Legitimate prescription drugs. Twice a year, the DEA sponsors what is called, take back. People have meds in their house, and if somebody no longer needs them and they have an excess of them, that is a problem as well.
It is. I mean, as I said, if there's one thing that I hope we learned in the early days of the opiate crisis, it is that whether we're talking about a national scale or the micro scale right in our own homes, excess drugs can lead to recreational drug use, and that can lead to addiction.
And if people want to learn more about what's going on and what's happening with the DEA, what's the best thing?
The best thing you can do, you follow us on Twitter here in Los Angeles at DEA Los Angeles, and our website is dea.gov, and it will have everything on there that you need with regards to DEA.
Well, keep up the good work, Special Agents. Really, really fascinating to talk to you, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
LA City Treasurer Diana Mangioglu, who handles the finances for LA, gave us an inside look at the 2021 budget and how the federal funds from the American Rescue Plan will affect Angelenos. Check it out.
As treasurer for the city of Los Angeles, our responsibility is to serve as the custodian for all public funds. The mayor's proposed budget was released on April 20th, and it assumes $1.3 billion in American Rescue Plan dollars. And what this essentially does is that it doubles the budget for homelessness, It helps replenish the budget for city departments, and it also increases the city's reserve levels, bringing it up to a historic 11.3%. In terms of tools and resources that we're offering LA City businesses are all available on our website. For those startup businesses, we have the LA Business Portal, which has basic information and resources. And then, of course, we have our monthly e-newsletter that's available for our businesses that includes up-to-date information on programs that are available through Office of Finance and other city departments that benefit businesses. This year, we launched our virtual public counter program, which essentially allows anybody with a computer and a mobile phone to have a face-to-face interaction with our customer support specialists. We are looking to launch our financial literacy workshop. Finance is really looking to target the city business community, basically our business tax base. We will be working with our council offices to identify how we can tailor these workshops for specific needs throughout the city.
Just like clockwork, Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez is spending another weekend giving back to her constituents in District 7. This past weekend, the Councilwoman observed a time-honored tradition of giving out flowers and thanks on Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Well, we know how mothers have been struggling through the course of this pandemic, trying to balance the needs of taking care of their family, providing the child care service, tutoring for the kids in school. They've had to wear all the hats. So for me, as a mom, I wanted to show some affection and appreciation for all the other moms that are in the struggle alongside with everyone else. It's really important that we do our part to celebrate and uplift the contributions that moms make throughout our communities, and this is a small way for us to be able to do that.
Every event she makes is very good, very helpful. She likes to help people, and we're very thankful for her.
Pues me gusta que haga esto porque hay veces que no lo reconoce y es buena idea que aunque sea una vez al año nos den algo.
My mom has been such an important influence in my life, and she has been one of the best examples of someone who is just selfless and providing unconditional love and support. And I'm incredibly grateful to still have her, still have my grandmothers, and I look forward to celebrating with them.
Happy Mother's Day!
From the summer of unrest sparked by the death of George Floyd to the disturbing rise of hate crimes against the Asian American community, the outcry for racial justice and equity is louder than ever before. In our feature this week, we take a look at what Mayor Garcetti is doing to address racial equity within city offices as well as the Los Angeles community at large. With the appointment of Brenda Shockley, LA's first ever Chief Equity Officer, Mayor Garcetti shows that those outcries have not fallen on deaf ears. Anita Bennett has the story.
Last summer, Los Angeles, like so many other cities, saw massive crowds take to the streets demanding racial justice. The catalyst for that call for change was the police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Now, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti listened, and he appointed the city's first ever Chief Equity Officer. The woman who took on that role is Brenda Shockley, the city's Deputy Mayor for Economic Opportunity. She is with us today to discuss LA's Racial Equity Action Plan. Ms. Shockley, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you for having me.
So what is the city's action plan?
Well, the city's action plan is rooted in the mayor's Executive Directive 27, which was issued after and during the wake of the demonstrations. The racial equity in city government is really what the Executive Directive focuses on, as well as the contracting, where the city spends well over $1 billion in vendor contracts. Organizations and businesses of color have been identified as really almost de minimis in terms of the amount of money that the city is spending.
But addressing these issues, there are critics who will say, well, this is affirmative action that the city is trying to do. So how do you respond to those folks?
To those same people, the advantages that you and generations of your family have received as part of the largesse of being an American, that same consideration and the righting of those wrongs, those things that were done to others in order to increase your wealth, that has to be addressed, that has to be corrected.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Deputy Mayor Brenda Shockley, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Celebrate Loomis Day Viva Poetry with the LAPL. Check out the 2021 Asian American Expo or settle down with some Tales of the Silk Road. All this up next on Things to Do.
The LA Public Library invites you to the annual Loomis Day celebration. Known in Northeast LA as a multicultural festival of ethnic flavors, community arts, and music, this year LAPL brings you its version, Loomis Day Viva Poetry. You'll be treated to the works and creative process of two celebrated poets, 2009 PEN Emerging Voices Fellow Erica Ayon and Ramon Garcia, author of Mandorla, New Writing from the Americas. Reserve your spot now for this awesome poetry event happening Sunday, May 23rd at 3 p.m. Visit lapl.org/events. The Asian American Expo has gone virtual for 2021 as we celebrate the Year of the Ox. The ox is defined by the characteristics of calmness, patience, dependability, and inspiring confidence in others. And like the ox, the Asian American Expo is promoting the values of social distancing and staying safe by presenting the festivities on a digital platform. Celebrate Asian Pacific Heritage Month and the Year of the Ox with the Asian American Expo. Visit AsianAmericanExpo.com. The LA Public Library is back online with another installment of its Creative Artists series, LA Made. This week, explore Tales of the Silk Road, multicultural music for a multicultural world. Enjoy traditional and new music from indigenous instruments of India, Japan, and more. This LA Made program is made possible with the generous support of the National Endowment for the Humanities. Be sure to check out Tales of the Silk Road, multicultural music for a multicultural world. The performance streams on the LA Public Library's Facebook page and YouTube channels. And that's a look at some virtual things to do.
That's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Parenting during a pandemic? Get activities, resources, tips, and support. Go to first5california.com.
Good morning and welcome to the Los Angeles City Council. Today is Tuesday, May 18th. I'm Noreen Martinez, the President of the City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Blumenfield.
Blumenfield present.
Bonin.
Bonin present.
Buscaino.
Good morning, here.
Cedillo.
Here.
De Leon. Harris Dawson.
Present.
Koretz.
Present.
Krikorian. Lee.
Present.
Martinez.
Present.
O'Farrell.
Present.
Price. Rahman.
Here.
Ridley Thomas. Rodriguez.
Here.
11 members and a quorum, Madam President.
First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of May 12th.
Present. Thank you.
Mr. De Leon is here.
Thank you, Madam President. 12 members present and a quorum.
Approval of the minutes of May 12th. Yes. Moved by Ms. Rodriguez and second by Mr. Buscaino. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Moved by Mr. Harris Dawson and second by Mr. Bonin. Next.
Madam President, today is Tuesday and time for the flag salute.
Mr. Cedillo, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir?
Yes, with honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, con libertad y justicia para todos. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Let's go ahead and run through the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Madam President, would council like all items to go forthwith today?
Without objection, that will be the order.
There has been a request to continue items 6 and 7 for 1 week to May 25th.
Okay, without objection, that will be the order.
Additionally, there has been a request from a member to receive and file item 4.
Okay, without objection, that will be the order. Next.
Items 1 through 7 are items noticed for public hearing. Items 6 and 7 have been continued. For item 4, a community impact statement against the item has been submitted by the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council. Items 8 through 13 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 14 through 29 are items for which public hearings have not been held. There is a request to hold item 25 on the desk. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Without objection, those items are now before us. Members, do you wish to call any of these items special? Mr. O'Farrell?
Actually, I'm going to defer to Mr. Harris Dawson. I believe I'm going to second a verbal amendment
on behalf of Mr. Krikorian. Is that correct, Mr. Dawson?
I think that might be the case.
Okay, Mr. Dawson, are you ready?
I have a request to hold item 13, Madam Chair.
Okay. For an
On
amendment?
behalf of Mr. Krikorian, who's submitting a amendment that I can read into the record now. Instruct DCP to report back on strategies to increase and streamline the number of administrative and administrative approvals and ministerial approvals with suggestions on this front, especially focused on small and medium businesses, affordable housing, single family and small residential, and to make these approval processes as simple as possible.
And I will second.
Okay, so you introducing it on behalf of Mr. Krikorian and Mr. O'Farrell, you've seconded that? Okay, thank you. Mr. Harris-Dawson, just please have that circulated as soon as possible.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Rahman?
I actually was going to ask a question about item 13, so the same one.
Okay. That's, we're going to go ahead and hold that on the desk.
Thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez?
I just wanted to request a separate vote for item 10, please.
Okay, very well. Members, any other items? Can I have, Madam Clerk, I have a amendment on item number 27 that City Attorney will read into the record.
Yes, Madam President. So for item 27, there's an amendment to recommendations D and F. So partly clarification. So in D, the word reduction would be reduced with prevention and universal with guaranteed. So it would read continuing efforts related to poverty prevention, such as guaranteed basic income. And for F, the clarification, I'll just read the final, is addressing housing security and homelessness prevention, including eviction prevention and affordable housing.
That was seconded by Mr. Krikorian, is that correct?
Second. Yes, second.
Thank you. Any other specials, members? Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk, which are the items that are available for us to vote on?
At this time, council may vote on items 8, 9, 11, and 12.
Okay, let's go ahead and open the roll on those items. Please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris-Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Aye.
Ridley Thomas. Rodriguez.
Aye.
14 ayes. These items are adopted.
Okay, Madam Clerk, let's go. I'm sorry, Mr. Price?
Thank you, Madam President. I have to recuse myself from item 28 due to my wife's business, DRA and Associates, who has a former client who is an applicant.
Yes, sir, can you repeat the item again? Did you say 28?
Item 28, yes,
28.
yes, Madam President. Item 28, please.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, there's been a request by Mr. Price to recuse himself on item 28.
Thank you. And Madam President, would you like to vote on item 10 at this time?
Yes, let's go ahead and call the roll on item number 10.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris-Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas. Absent. Rodriguez.
No.
13 ayes, 1 no. The item is adopted.
Okay, let's move on to public comment, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Madam President. And as indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. And finally, when you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number, press star 6. And again, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. And finally, when you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number, press star 6.
So, to members of the public calling in, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak on. You have 1 minute per item to speak, up to 3 minutes total. And if you wish 1 minute for general public comment, please speak to the items before beginning general public comment. We'll tell you when your time's up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. And if you're not on topic, or if we can't tell whether you're on topic, you'll get 1 brief warning from me or the president. If you don't immediately get clearly on topic or again straight off topic, the president will cut you off and you'll forfeit the rest of your time and we'll move on to the next speaker. We'll take 30 minutes total of public comment. The items open for public comment are items 1 through 3, 5, and 14 through 29. That's 1 through 3, 5, and 14 through 29. And for reference, number 4 has been received and will be received and filed, which means council is not taking up. It's effectively off the agenda, and items 6 and 7 have been continued. Finally, for members of the public calling in, we understand that you may be listening on channel 35 or another device. Keep one ear to the phone, though. There's a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, and if you're only listening to the broadcast, when we read out the last 4 digits of your phone number or other identifying information, if you're calling in with a block number, and you don't hear it right away and don't press star 6 right away, we may think you're no longer on the line and move on to the next person. Also, if you're listening on another device, as soon as it's your turn to speak, please turn down the volume on the other devices right away. It's going to cause a lot of confusion if you continue to listen to the broadcast because of the time delay and feedback. So thank you, Madam President, and we're ready to take public comment.
Okay, let's go ahead and take the first caller.
Caller ending in 5436, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Can I speak on 13? Is that one open or no?
Actually, it's not open for public comment, but you're free to talk about it because we held the hearing in committee. But
okay.
But you can talk about it in general.
Okay, thank you, Fauble. I'll speak on item 24 and general public comment, please.
And actually, you know what? I'm sorry, Speaker. I forgot that we had an amendment on that. So I think we will take public comment. So please speak on item 13 if you wish.
Okay, so 13, 24, and general public comment, please.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Item 24, very interesting to see Blumenfeld and Lee teaming up on a council file for neighborhood council stuff. I'd like to remind everyone that Bob got caught writing a community impact statement for the Woodland Hills Warner Center NC on his own motion, the odious 2013-76 that criminalized poverty and homelessness. So I'm wondering what kind of participation he's hoping these signs will generate, given that he likes to use this NC as a puppet for his own office. Also interesting to see John Lee on this motion. Of course, John's most rabid supporters on the West Hills NC are being sued for civil rights violations, racist discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. John Lee, of course, has not made a statement on this because he relies on these horrible people to back him up on his overnight parking bans and poverty criminalization efforts. Item 13, jacking up fees for land use appeals is another slap in the face to low-income communities and a gift to the gentrifiers and developers this council is completely beholden to. Every single community impact statement the council has received on this item has been in opposition, so it'll be interesting to see you spit in their faces when you vote in favor of this gift to corporate displacers. General public comments. Item 4, this motion by Gil Sedil is laughably corrupt and the epitome of all the shady land use deals that scored two of your former colleagues' FBI indictments. Despite Cedillo's claims, this is a massive displacement project for 400 luxury units in a community with a median income of $39,000. We've all heard the audio of the Planning Commission meeting in which one of the paid commenters had a change of heart and admitted the developer was paying people out of the district to support this. Meanwhile, the Lincoln Heights community has submitted over 3,000 comments against this project, which Gil Cedillo has ignored. So unless you guys want to just keep perpetuating the idea that you are the most corrupt city council in the entire country, I urge you to oppose this project. This is everything that the city of Los Angeles is known for: corruption, ignoring environmental issues.
Thank you, Speaker.
Just
Madam Chair.
awful.
Yes,
Madam
Mr.
Chair.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cedillo?
Yes, that project has already been approved, so there's no discussion. This is something that's already occurred in the past, and so we should note that. The other thing is there's a series of falsehoods that have just been stated for which no evidence exists. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cedillo. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 0899, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is Stacy Dawson Stearns, and I would love to speak on item 4 in general public comment.
And you may do so. Please begin. You have a minute.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Falwell. Good morning, council members. Good morning, Council Member Cedillo. Boy, you're going to be talking back a lot. I hope you don't violate the Brown Act today. The only lies are coming out of your mouth. Now, okay, other CMs, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to Gil. I'm talking to Mr. De Leon. I'm talking to Mr. Ridley Thomas. I'm talking to Mr. Bonin. I'm talking to Ms. Rahman. I'm talking to all of you. Anyone who's running or speaking as if they are pro-housing and their priority is to house people in Los Angeles. If you vote yes and approve this motion that literally gives over $105 million in bonds that are supposed to be spent on housing to
Madam Chair,
a
can the record be
luxury
corrected?
developer.
We have
Excuse me,
counsel available to correct the record.
Mr. Cedillo, you have to
I
allow.
didn't interrupt.
Can we
Oh, no,
allow?
you're gonna have
Can
to
we
sit
hold our
down.
time,
You're gonna
Madam
have to sit down,
Speaker?
Joe.
We're allowing you to speak.
I'm not done.
Hold on for just a second,
not
Mr.
done.
Cedillo. I know you're not done.
May I please speak?
I'm allowing you to
Yeah,
speak. I'm
talking
asking
done.
Mr. Cedillo to hold his comments until you're done. Thank
Yes,
you. You may
please
continue,
do.
Speaker.
Gil,
Go ahead.
Hold yourself. Okay, the language in the motion is false. Let's start there. It should disqualify it immediately. The motion calls it an existing 67-unit residential property. It is a 467-unit
Speaker.
luxury development. This is not
Thank you,
affordable
Speaker.
housing. This is a luxury development that qualified for TOC designation because they included the bare minimum of affordable units.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Speaker.
Speaker. Mr. Cedillo.
And let me thank you for this. This matter is not before us. This item has been received and filed, so there is not going to be a vote on this matter for those who are very excited about it. This matter is not going forward. This matter has already been approved as a matter of record, and its affordability is, in fact, part of its planning. And so it is a very large project that has about 20 to 25% of affordable housing, which I support. I do support affordable housing. I plead guilty to that. I do support housing for everyone in the city, regardless of your income, whether it's very low affordable or workforce housing. For people who work in the city, I believe they should be able to live in the city. And there is no displacement. This is an empty lot. And so there's a series of false statements that are being made, and that we should allow this meeting to go forward and not engage in this. This is what people refer to as fake news. This item, as I said, has been received and filed, and we should move forward. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue with public comment. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 7022, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 7022, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Jessica Izagarian, and speaking on general public.
Please begin. You have a minute.
I would like to save the hookah that has provided a lot of jobs and has always been a family and a very cultural tradition. Even my job alone, if they weren't supported or even kind of like closed down, it would be about like 20 jobs that this one spot has provided the community.
Thank you,
Speaker, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 7978, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is Rima Corey, and I would like to speak on general comment.
You have 1 minute. Please begin.
On behalf of the tens of thousands of Armenians, Arabs, Persians, Indians, and other minority groups that call LA City their home, we respectfully ask that the LA City Council mirror SB 793 in the proposed LA City flavored tobacco ban. SB 793 balances the interests of preventing youth access and usage of flavored tobacco products while also protecting the rich cultural tradition of hookah, which has been around for nearly 1,000 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 1333, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Arnie Abramian, I'd like to comment on general comment.
Please begin. You have a minute.
Yes, good morning, City Council and staffers. I actually want to let you in on a fun fact. Jose Huizar has nothing on the neighborhood council profiteers, so if the FBI comes knocking, let them know about Cindy Claycorn, Lydia Grant, and Terrence Stones. Now to more serious business. 80% of hookah lounges and retailers are Armenian-owned in Los Angeles. By putting one Armenian out of business, you are doing the Turks' job for them. Every small business supports 1 or 2 families here and sends money back home to relatives and to support them during the war in OCHI. We cannot physically be there, but we support them financially and with prayers. You have the power to preserve culture and tradition. It might not be your culture, but LA is diverse and accepting of all cultures. And let me remind you that slavery was once legal. Lawmakers thought that it was okay for one human being to own another, and it was not. It is not. It wasn't okay then, it is not okay now. Asians, African Americans, American Indians were enslaved by law and robbed by their culture and their tradition. Well,
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 2427, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 2427, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 7543, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is Lionel Mares. I'd like to make a general public comment, please.
Sure. You have 1 minute. Please begin.
Thank you, Mr. Pablo. I'm calling regarding about the wildlife ordinance. I've been, over the past couple of weeks, I've been reading and hearing public comment about advocates for wildlife in the Santa Monica Mountains. And as a frequent hiker in the Griffith Park, Fryman Canyon, Whale Acre Canyon, and Santa Monica Mountains, I believe that we should protect wildlife and defend wildlife, and we should halt any more land development on the Hollywood Hills and the Santa Monica Mountains. And we should do what we can to make passage for wildlife, such as the mountain lions and coyotes and whatnot, so they won't have to die crossing the freeways or losing their habitat to wealthy land developers in those hills. Because I've hiked in those canyons and I see more and more land development. So we have to halt that and protect wildlife in the mountains. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 5162, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 5162, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Michael Hayden, item number 4.
You may talk about it in general public comment if you wish. You have a minute.
General public comment then? Okay, thank you. I'd like to clarify for the record that this project on Avenue 34 does not include 20 to 25% affordable housing, as Mr. Cedillo stated, but only 14%. And yes, city planning has approved this plan, as he stated, but it's also a fact that they are currently blocked from clearing this unbuilt project pending an ongoing state investigation for toxic contamination. The site has not been approved for residential use. The adjacent site was a dry cleaner that released tens of thousands of gallons of toxins into the soil and water. The toxic plume flows directly through the project site. There was also an electronics manufacturing on the project site that has not been investigated. The developers lied for the past year, saying they had tested for pollution, although they had not. The developer signed a voluntary agreement with state regulators in the past few months, agreeing that the site is likely contaminated, but their current testing plan does not account for all likely toxins and allows the developers to test only a small percentage of soil samples taken. It's designed to yield an incomplete assessment. You must vote no on item 4 when it does come up for a vote, and do not allow tax-exempt funding for luxury housing in low-income communities on sites with likely contamination. Thank you.
Caller ending in 7977, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Tracy Morgenthaw, general public comment.
Please begin. You have a minute.
Councilmember O'Farrell and members of the council, I am speaking about a hub of criminal activity under the guise of a homeless encampment at Maltman Avenue and Sunset, directly in front of St. Francis Assisi School, which is in session. The people at the encampment are not typical unhoused people, but young men actively doing drugs, keeping weapons out in the open, bats, knives, guns, harassing us as we walk up and down the street, selling drugs. Now we have seen women going from tent to tent and believe prostitution and human trafficking has entered the scenario. As I speak right now, bikes are being chopped up in open view of the public on the sidewalk in the heart of Silver Lake, in front of a school. Our local businesses have seen an increase in break-ins since this arrival of the encampment 4 weeks ago. We had a gun incident with helicopters and a manhunt 3 Saturdays ago. We had an arrest in front of the encampment yesterday. We've been in daily contact with the police, calling our council member's office, but this is not enough. Many of us have lived on this block for decades.
Thank you, Speaker.
This is the first time we've felt unsafe.
Thank you.
It's shocking to us that our—
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 9597, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is McKenna Jenkins, and I would like to speak on general public comment.
You have 1 minute. Please begin.
Thank you. I'm requesting that City Council exempt hookah from the potential flavored tobacco ban that is set to be heard. I ask that you please consider exempting hookah. Hookah has been a fixture of social activity since its first appearances in India in the 16th century. It is a symbol of respect, hospitality, and social engagement to the Middle Eastern and Indian communities. Similarly, how you as a council go to Starbucks for a meeting, right, to get coffee, Middle Eastern and Indian cultures gather around a hookah in the same exact manner. Last year, the California State Legislature and Governor Newsom signed SB 793, and I just respectfully ask that you mirror that language of SB 793 to regulate and cancel someone's culture and completely disregard the impact that that will have on our diverse community is incredibly disrespectful. It's important to respect LA's diversity and honor all the different cultures that live here as the melting pot that we are here in LA. I would hope that your core values of protecting our minority communities as an elected body, that you uphold that obligation that you have to your constituents.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 5275, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
I would like to speak on general public comment. My name is Dama.
You have a minute. Please begin.
I'm just calling in solidarity with the Lincoln Heights community. I would like to remind the council that the median income of Lincoln Heights residents is well below $25K per year. 62.4% of kids in Lincoln Heights live far below the federal poverty line. However, the project outlined in item 4 is not affordable in the sense that tenants would need to make at least $34K to qualify. And I just would like to urge the council to consider this and, if possible, redirect the funds to build housing that is more appropriate for Lincoln Heights residents, such as realistically affordable multifamily houses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Speaker.
Caller ending in 5028, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Hera. I'd like to make a general public comment.
Please go ahead. You have a minute.
I work in the hookah space, and it helps me to support myself and my family back home. I support the 1,000-year-old tradition. Please save hookah. As a community, we thrive on preserving our culture. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 1506, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning, Council President and Council members. My name is Diana Coronado, and I'm speaking on item number 13. I'm with BIA, the Building Industry Association, a nonprofit trade association focused on building housing for all. On behalf of our membership, we are opposed to the Department of City Planning's comprehensive fee update. We understand the need for reasonable cost recovery, but disagree with the approach being proposed in this fee update and are especially worried by the city administrative officer's recommendations. According to a recent UC Berkeley Turner Center study, fees can amount to 18% of the median home price. Lastly, if the city were to adopt a fee update, it should be implemented gradually as a phased-in approach over several years. A robust grandfathering clause for projects in the pipeline should also be included to exclude them from any new fee increase policy. We're asking that this fee update not negatively impact residential development. We appreciate the opportunity to provide input and thank staff for their transparency and hope that these amendments be considered today. This concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 5915, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Doug Haynes. I'm with the Hollywood Studio District Neighborhood Council, and I wish to speak on item number 13, please.
Please go ahead. And it's a little difficult to hear you, but go ahead.
Okay, I'll try to speak louder. The Hollywood Studio District Neighborhood Council has joined with 17 other neighborhood councils in its opposition to the Planning Department's proposed fee increase for non-applicant appeals. The current appeal fee is $109 when including taxes and surcharges. The proposed new base fee of $161 would be almost $200 when including such additional charges. Many projects require that the public file multiple appeals, each paid separately at separate appeal levels. The appeal fees can therefore quickly escalate to $600 or more to the community to exhaust its administrative remedies. Raising the appeal fee would recover only an additional $15,000 annually for the Planning Department. Increasing the appeal fee, therefore, is not a revenue recovery issue, but merely a punitive measure that would discourage the public from challenging approvals. The City Planning Commission and Area Planning Commissions are required to exist per the city charter, and they are tasked with hearing appeals. Staff costs are set whether it's one appeal or 1,000. We ask that you keep the appeal fee at its current level because they're...
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 3895, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Fernanda Sanchez, and this is regarding the community impact statement for item number 4. I believe I should be allocated 5 minutes for this.
So no, because we're not actually taking up the item, but you're free to talk about it in general public comment if you wish.
And how much time do I have for that?
1 minute. Please begin.
This is a community impact statement on behalf of Lincoln Heights. It should be 5 minutes.
No, actually, because we're receiving and filing the item, council's effectively dropped it from the agenda. We're not taking it up, so you can speak about it in general public comment. That's all. So please begin with your minute.
The City Council has already approved $20 million in TEFRA funding for this very same project in October. This new motion presented today would approve an additional $105 million in taxpayer-subsidized funding for this very same project. All other TEFRA-funded apartments in the last year cost an average of $300,000 per unit. The discrepancy in amounts is truly alarming. If you vote yes, you will participate in misappropriating tax-exempt funding for the development of a mega private market rate commercial project. Lincoln Heights has been very vocal about their opposition to this project, as it will absolutely and inevitably contribute to rent insecurity and displacement in our neighborhood. Our community strongly opposes this project and does not trust the developers involved. They have been everything but transparent. We, the people of Lincoln Heights, are in danger of being permanently displaced from the community we have called home. We, the people of Lincoln Heights, are in danger of being poisoned from toxic waste in the name of profit. We, the people of Lincoln Heights, are the people you swore to protect and represent. The community of Lincoln Heights implores you to vote no on any tax-exempt funding for this project. Our lives.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Mr. Cedillo, you have your hand raised, sir. Mr. Cedillo?
Madam Chair, let me say this again, that this matter is not before us, that this matter has already been voted on and approved, that we have received and filed, and I apologize, I misspoke. The degrees of affordability in the project are 55%. It's 40% moderate and 15% very low income. So I misspoke, it's at 55% in terms of degrees of affordability, but frankly, this matter is essentially moot since it's already been approved by this council and has moved forward. So I think we should move forward with our conversation as well. Thank you.
Caller ending in 8882, press star 6 to unmute yourself.
You are.
Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Yes, my name is Caitlin Scanlon, and I'm giving general public comment on item 13.
Please begin.
As Doug Haynes said, the $15,000 that would be made up by doubling the non-applicant initiated appellant fees for planning decisions and projects only makes up a very small amount of the fees trying to be recovered through this new program that's being proposed. And it really just serves to punish stakeholders and those that are appealing these planning decisions. And I implore the city to look at the sheer number of neighborhood councils who have written in opposition to this and listen to your constituents and keep the subsidy and keep those appeal fees down. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 2523, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello, my name is Margaret Malloy. I'd like to speak on general public comments.
Please begin.
So, first of all, I would ask that the council make a resolution opposing the bombardment of Gaza. I think that's a really important move that you have the opportunity to do. And secondly, on a very different note, as we speak, park rangers are displacing unhoused people on Venice Beach. So we have our own bombardment of vulnerable people with no place to go. And you all need to take it to heart. And I sent you a letter opposing renewal of the Venice Beach bid. You can't call this area a public park for the sake of a curfew, state recreational trail for the sake of a lawsuit, and the business improvement district for the sake of anybody's pet project. It's unconstitutional and it will be challenged. And displacing people right now on the Venice Beach boardwalk when they have no viable place to go violates the Boise.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 8990, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Okay, hi. I'd like to do public comment on item number 13.
So you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with item 13, and please begin.
Okay, item number 13. Thank you so much, sir. I joined those 17 neighborhood councils opposing this. This will impact most greatly our most vulnerable communities. Where I am in Hollywood, we're watching people lose their homes, RSO and affordable housing, to hotels and luxury projects. And they come to our neighborhood council. The tenants union helps them fight staying in their homes. Many of them have children in the area schools. No, it's not easy to have to leave your home, and no, they're not given better housing. And there are appeals are being made. They're always denied. But these are the people who are going to be most impacted by being able to appeal projects. And this is a displacement and gentrification holocaust here in Hollywood. It is heartbreaking to watch, and this is so heartless and cruel to people. Please, please do not raise those fees. Thank you. The thing I wanted to bring up is the historic preservation. It's very heartbreaking also to watch council members have the power to reject Cultural Heritage Commission designations over and over. It happens again and again in CD 13. This is more about this is about turning over our future history to developers running this city and Hollywood. This is so historic resources will not be left here and preserved for our children and grandchildren and those of us who are from here. It's heartbreaking to watch. No council member should have power to trample on historic resources. The list is getting longer. There are records being broken as far as the amounts that are denied in Hollywood. Thank you, Councilmember Koretz, for helping fight the state bills. We miss David Rue. The two of you were a great team. We hope that the City Council takes a good look at the Chief Legislative Analyst report that recommends opposing it, and any City Council member who's on the YIMBY Victory Fund with Weiner, Atkins, and state reps that support these bills should be ashamed and will never have a chance to be mayor of this city. Please, please reach out to South LA Alliance of Locally Planned Growth.
Thank
the
you,
South
Speaker.
LA
Caller ending in 1026, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Amy Gibson-Sick speaking on item 13.
Please go ahead.
Hi, I'm president of the Los Feliz Improvement Association, and we've been representing all residents of Los Feliz for over 100 years. And we're in solidarity with all of the neighborhood councils. We've also written a letter opposing the fee increases for non-applicant appeals. And I won't repeat the numbers and statistics about the fee increases, but I think it bears repeating that this is a punitive measure against people who want to file increases. The fees add up and become untenable for many individuals and small organizations, and it strips stakeholders and community organizations of their constitutional right to appeal a decision. So the city should really be finding ways to increase citizen participation in government rather than increasing the barriers. And I hope that you will all oppose this appeal fee increase when it comes back for a vote. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that's the last speaker.
That's the last speaker. That concludes public comment. Mr. O'Farrell?
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, one previous caller invoked lack of preservation in the 13th District in Hollywood, luxury housing production, and lack of affordable housing in Hollywood specifically in the 13th District. So I want to address that. To get the long list of historically preserved structures since I've taken office in Hollywood, please contact my office. They are many, heading toward 24. Also, currently in Hollywood alone, we have over 600 covenanted, affordable, low-income units that are in the pipeline to be built in the coming months and next few years, on top of over 2,000 units of covenanted affordable housing that we have approved and built since I've taken office in the 13th District. And some of the luxury housing, that term gets used when it's market rate housing, and in any project that has needed some sort of
NIMBY rhetoric.
Yeah, well, it is. It's also promulgated by social media and the spread of disinformation by social media, and they whip people into a frenzy. And so this so-called luxury housing is almost always co-located with covenanted affordable housing and for the most part, with very few exceptions, built on surface parking lots, not causing any displacement unless you call a surface parking lot of cars displacement. So if you want to hear all about the net gain of covenant affordable housing in Hollywood specifically, please contact my office. We will be happy to share with you those details, and along with our historic preservation successes. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. O'Farrell. Mr. Cedillo?
I applaud Mr. O'Farrell's efforts. I've observed that we are neighbors throughout the district, both in the Echo Park area and the LaSalle Park area. And so I've seen those developments, and it's part of a mixed-use strategy. People don't understand that, one, the city does not build housing. So it's very important to note that. And so our powers are within the land use and our ability to work and control developers to build affordability. We've also had our successes in our district, and they are a matter of record. I will note that the silence is deafening for many of these activists when we make efforts, for example, to build affordable housing on city lots. Then there is no sound or voice or fury for those who want affordable housing. There are 5 parking lots in Lincoln Heights that we've been trying to develop 100% affordable, but somehow this seems to have escaped the activists. And in fact, it was the activists who filed a lawsuit when I first came in 2013, who stopped 3 parking lots. We were going to build 80 units of affordability, 100% affordability, and they were able, with great pride, to block that project. So some of these claims being false, they are in fact NIMBYism wrapped in progressive rhetoric, but NIMBYism nevertheless. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cedillo. I concur, and I really do caution everyone to take a look at social media disinformation. It's a very real thing. It causes all sorts of unnecessary distress. And I urge anyone out there, rather than believing some sort of tweet that is untrue, to call any of our offices to get actual details of what we're doing in our districts. And that's the more constructive and productive way to have any concerns or questions, concerns met or questions asked. Thank you again, Mr. Cedillo and Madam President.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move on and vote on items number 1 through 3, item 5, items 14 through 24, and items 26 and 29. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson. Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Thank you. Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. These items are adopted.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to item 27 as amended. Please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin,
aye.
Excuse me? Bonin?
Bonin, aye.
Thank you. Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. This item is adopted as amended.
Okay, let's move on to item 27. There's been a request by Mr. Price to recuse himself from this vote, so let's make sure he's removed off the board before we vote. I'm sorry, 28. Okay, he's off the board. Let's go ahead and vote on this item. Item 28, please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price recused. Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
14 ayes. This item is adopted.
Okay, let's move on to item 25. This was held on the desk by Mr. Ridley Thomas for comments.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to the team over at Netflix for donating an incredible painting of the late Congressman John Lewis to the Los Angeles Central Public Library. As a disciple of and colleague of Dr. King, many of us should know that John Lewis continuously led the charge for racial equality, many times against angry mobs and violent attacks. Seems to me it's an apt reminder as to what's going on in our nation aimed at specific ethnic groups, and the fact that for nearly 60 years, the fight against racism, fight for law enforcement accountability, the struggle against poverty, and all of the issues that spell racial, economic, and social justice are packed into the life of John Lewis. His life in many ways reflects America's story. It's a testament to the unfinished work ahead. So I want to commend Meg DeLoach, creator of Netflix series Family Reunion, for featuring the painting of John Lewis on her show. For those who have not yet seen it, I invite you to visit the Central Library when it's installed. There's a work of art that pays tribute to one of the last public appearances in the life of John Lewis as he stood forward to protest the death of George Floyd. And I have to say that his act of courage, it animated the collective voices of those wishing to be heard, shall forever resonate in our hearts. This is one way in which we continue to lift up the life, the legacy, and the witness of the Honorable John Lewis. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Let's go ahead and prepare to vote on this item. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. This item is adopted.
Okay, let's move on to item 13. This was amended by Mr. Krikorian and seconded by Mr. O'Farrell. Ms. Rahman, you had questions on this item?
Yes, I had just a couple of questions, and I believe Mr. Keller is here from planning to answer them.
Hold on for just a second. Ms. Rahman, let me just verify. Mr. Keller, are you with us? Can you hear us?
Yes. Kevin Keller here from City Planning. Thank you.
Very well.
Hi.
Ms. Rahman
well,
and General Manager Vince Vitoli is also on the line in case you have questions for him.
Oh, great.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, thank you both for being here, and thank you for this fee update study. I know that this has been an issue that's been under discussion for a while, and I also appreciate that, especially on the applicant initiated or non-applicant initiated fee that was proposed at $16,000 by the CAO, the planning department actually recommended a much lower fee, much closer to our current fee structure on this. So I wanted to just thank you for that. And I know a number of people who wrote in beforehand were really concerned about that $16,000 fee proposal. I wanted to ask just a couple of other questions around some of the fees that relate to neighborhood serving uses, elder care facilities, affordable housing projects, and wondered whether you could clarify what you felt the impact of these fee changes might be on those kinds of uses, because I know that there have been some significant increases even on those fronts.
Sure, happy to do that. And Director Bertoni, should I tackle that or did you want to weigh in? Go ahead. Okay, thank you so much, Councilmember Rahman. Kevin Keller, City Planning Executive Officer. Yes, the fee study in front of the council today does take into effect that the planning fees do remain subsidized. We have been strategic in remaining those subsidies for small business, single family, more mom and pop establishments while doing full cost recovery on the larger projects. So in specifics into your questions, we are recommending increases to the alcohol conditional use permits for some restaurants. However, at the same time, the department has proposed the restaurant beverage program, which for conforming restaurants would actually result in a much smaller fee. I believe that new fee would be around $2,000, which would actually be a decrease from current fees. That ordinance is pending in council committees for review, so we look forward to working with the council on that. I believe farmers markets has been flagged as an item where we do charge fees. That fee does remain on the books, but in 2018, working with the council and the Plum Committee will remember this well, we actually created a by right process for farmers markets in commercial zones, industrial zones, and parking areas. So we have not seen anyone need to use that fee. So I think that was one of our solutions there, is to basically avoid charging the fee from the majority of projects there. Elder care facilities do remain a very in-depth approval process, I'll say, from the department. So we are charging a $13,000 fee for that. That is the current proposal fee. On that, we do see about 5 to 6 a year. So we're happy to, if there is questions about that, include that in our report back to Plum. We were asked by Plum members to also include in our report back looking at childcare fees that are collected, how much are collected, and what would be the financial impact of potentially modifying that. And then finally, and sorry to give a long answer, but just wanted to clarify for the record and for anyone in the audience that the proposal in front of the council is for the $158 appeal fee. There was a letter from our colleagues at the CAO looking for full cost recovery. That was not included by the Plum Committee. So it is an increase, but it is an increase that is much more in line with maintaining public process and access there. So happy to answer any other questions, or if Vince has anything to add on my behalf.
So just to clarify that, thank you so much for that detailed answer. Just to clarify that you're saying that once the restaurant beverage program goes through the council, the fee will actually reduce to $2,000 for restaurants, not what's in the report right now.
Correct. For restaurants that conform to the upfront standards of the ministerial process, there'll be a lower fee. And for restaurants that conform to the kind of agreed upon menu of standards, there actually will be a ministerial review that planning will do. There will also be a ministerial and follow-up inspections. We've worked that out with DBS. But the alcohol CEP would remain for establishments looking to customize their approvals, or that may seek a need for a specific type of approval. That will remain the option.
Okay, that's great. So really the only thing that would have a remaining affected fee increase would be elder care facilities?
Yes, the list that you raised, and we do have a couple items to report back as a policy matter, so we're happy to include a calculation of maybe how many elder care cases we have, what the overall revenue projections would be, and present that as a policy item to our report back to Plum if that's helpful.
Yeah, so that would be great if that could be added to the report back list. I think that would be a fantastic addition.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bonin?
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Mr. Krikorian, for the amending motion. Just wanted to ask staff, Vince and Kevin, when you report back on Mr. Krikorian's motion, assuming it is approved as I do, if you could also give some consideration to the question of what to do in the coastal zone, where essentially everything requires a coastal development permit. There are no ministerial approvals of anything. That sets a very costly bar for people who are seeking to do something that would be considered absolutely routine in any other part of the city, and therefore also puts a costly burden on those who are appealing. So I know we usually think about the whole city, but if you could also please remember that we have particular circumstances and dynamics in the coastal zone. I know my staff constantly pesters and reminds about that, but I wanted to do that here as well.
We're happy to do that because in the coastal zone, there's really a higher level of discretion there. So we apply much more discretion in that area. So we're mindful of that. We can report back on that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Krikorian.
Mr. Koretz?
Thank you, Madam President. We heard a lot of objections to the increase in the appeals fees. I just wanted to clarify, were people objecting to the CAO's original proposal, which was around full cost recovery of $16,000, or were they objecting to the increase from the current fee to $158?
Yeah, this is Kevin Keller, City Planning. We have received a very large amount of public comments about the appeal fees for non-applicants. I believe when we were looking at the $16,000 fee, that elicited a great deal of comments. I believe we've continued to receive a high level of comments about raising the appeal fee to any amount, including the $158. And I think some of those comments were shared today at this meeting as well.
So the current amount, just for the public, is what?
The current amount is $89. There are surcharges that are applied to all of our planning fees. So I think one of the speakers said it works out to be about $101, I believe. But the current fee is $89 and the proposal is $158, which represents 1% of the city's calculated costs for processing an appeal through the process.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and prepare to vote on this item 13 as amended. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. This item is adopted as amended.
Okay, Madam Clerk, what's before us now?
Madam President, Council has motions for posting and referral. Motions will be posted on the City Clerk's website shortly after the meeting for the public's viewing. To subscribe to receive copies of today's Council motions to your email, please visit clerk.lacity.org.
Okay, those are posted and referred. We're going to move on to announcements. Mr. Blumenfield?
Great, thank you. Madam President, colleagues, this week, City of Los Angeles joins municipalities across the nation in celebrating National Public Works Week. That's right, I know you're on the edge of your seat. This is National Public Works Week. It started on Sunday, May 16th and continues through Saturday, May 22nd. Held annually in May, this week was instituted in 1960 as a public education campaign to call attention to the importance of public works in community life. It also gives the opportunity to acknowledge the thousands of men and women in North America who provide and maintain the infrastructure and services collectively known as public works. The theme of this year is Stronger Together. I'm proud to serve as the chair of the Public Works Committee, and I can't say enough about the incredible and important work that the men and women from the Department of Public Works do 24/7 for the people of Los Angeles. They play a critical role in the essential core services that our residents and businesses use and rely on daily. And this has been especially true, of course, during this COVID pandemic. And while many of us were able to be safer at home, our public works bureaus, both our city employees and our contractors, continue to show up for work every day to operate our sanitation system, pave our streets, fix potholes, sidewalks, trim trees, paint out graffiti, pick up solid waste, inspect construction, supporting all those operations. They never stopped. They couldn't. We relied on them. Public Works has been in the city of Los Angeles since 1906, 115 years, and has evolved from its early days into a multidimensional department that handles so much more. So I want to thank everyone in Public Works, let them know we wish you great success in this week's event. And I'd also, if you'll indulge, want to welcome the president of the Board of Public Works, Greg Good. He'd like to say a few words. So Madam President, if we can have Greg Good join us for a moment. I believe he's here.
Okay,
And
hold
if
on
he's
for
not-
just, we're looking for Commissioner Good. Give us just a second.
Well,
I don't believe he's in our meeting.
he was here earlier. He had planned on being here, but that's okay. I know he just wants to join in and make a similar acknowledgement. Really, all of Public Works is gearing up for this week and to celebrate. So I thank him and all of the members of all the Public Works team we have in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blumenfield. I apologize. Yeah, we don't see Mr. Good on the board. Mr. O'Farrell?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to add to Chair Blumenfield's congratulatory remarks on Public Works. As a fellow city nerd, I exalt in this sort of thing. And I think it's wonderful to uplift and celebrate our Public Works employees. They do the work that make our city livable, commutable, walkable, bikeable, you name it, they do it. They are responsible for all of our city infrastructure. And so I tip my hat to the entire department, all the fine men and women and all the bureaus who do all this work. As you said, day in, day out, pandemic or not, they make this city function. So I join you in celebrating the great work and incredible individuals that make up our Public Works Department. Thank you, Mr. Blumenfield.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lee, do you have an announcement?
And Mr. Good has joined us.
Hold on for just a second. Mr. Lee, did you have an announcement?
I do, Madam Chair. Thank you very much. Colleagues, as you all know, that today is, well, this month is Asian American Pacific Heritage Month, and I'm pleased to be here today with my fellow co-chairs, Councilmember Nithya Raman and Board of Public Works Commissioner Jessica Caloza, to formally acknowledge and celebrate both Asian Pacific American Heritage Month and AAPI Day Against Bullying and Hate here in the city of Los Angeles. Earlier this month, we held an opening ceremony event where we honored journalist Lisa Ling for the amazing work that she does, Attorney General Rob Bonta, actor Alan Kim, the nonprofit organization APCON for the incredible work that they've been doing to really respond to the anti-Asian hate sentiment that's been happening throughout this country. And one of our local business owners, Johnny Lee, no relationship, for their work to support, elevate, and empower the AAPI community. And at the end of this month, Channel 35 will be airing a special show highlighting some of the amazing individuals of AAPI descent who are making a difference in Los Angeles today. And throughout the month, I and many of you are highlighting on social media some of the AAPI men and women who are making a positive impact on our communities. I sincerely want to thank each of you for your participation in these activities, which are really helping us amplify our voices, because our stories sometimes get lost, and they are a part of our nation's identity and history and deserve to be heard. This last year has been especially difficult, as we all know, for our community, as prejudice against Asian and Pacific Islanders has led to violence and blame for the coronavirus pandemic. And as history shows, we are no stranger to scapegoating. You know, in the 1880s, Chinese workers were blamed for declining wages and economic ills. So Congress passed the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. In 1941, when Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, 120,000 American citizens who were of Japanese descent were forcibly imprisoned. In 1970, Japanese automakers were blamed for a recession following 2 oil crises, which led to trouble for the US auto industry. And in 1982, thinking he was Japanese, 2 laid off auto workers in Detroit brutally murdered Vincent Chin several days before his wedding, blaming him for their lost jobs. Chin was the only son of David Chin, a World War II veteran, and his wife Lily. And the 2 men who were involved received a $3,000 fine. This is really when the activism started to really talk about issues of AAPI significance in our history and really engage us to get us together. But unfortunately now in 2021, we've been through a year of record-breaking violence against AAPI men and women, violence that reminds us of this painful history and struggle for belonging in our own country. And at no time it is more important to pay tribute to the generations of Asians and Pacific Islanders who have enriched our nation and have been so instrumental in the success than today, whether it be our city, our county, our state, or our country. Today, we have our first Asian American vice president, an all Asian band gracing the front cover of Rolling Stone magazine for the first time. A Chinese woman was the first to be nominated and win an Academy Award for Best Director. An Asian American woman became the highest ranking female executive in Major League Baseball. Today, the AAPI community is stronger and more united than ever before. And though racism and hate has put us in the spotlight over this last year, it is a different kind of spotlight that we're seeking to move forward. So today, as we continue to lift our voices and demand equality, justice, and change, we have begun to see encouraging signs of that change with the passage of landmark legislation like the anti-Asian hate crime bills by the Senate, and greater urgency and determination to investigate these hate crimes, even by our own city and LAPD. I am confident that this is just the beginning for us as we unite, empower, and rise together. As we celebrate Asian Pacific American Heritage Month and officially declare today as National AAPI Day Against Bullying and Hate in the city of Los Angeles, we need to remember that the positive celebrations and achievements do not cancel out the racism. We need to continue to bring awareness to and speak out against racism and bias against everyone and forge a path forward that is undergirded by empathy and respect, because the change we desire to see ultimately begins and ends with each of us. Now I'd like to turn it over to my colleague and fellow Asian Pacific American Heritage Month co-chair, Councilmember Nithya Raman, who would like to share some remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Ms. Raman?
Thank you so much, Councilmember Lee, for your tireless work as host of AAPI Heritage Month, along with me and Jessica Coloza. This has been an exceptionally difficult year for the AAPI community, and I think it really draws attention to how important this month of programming is for our city and how poignant it is for us all to come together and acknowledge this together. As an immigrant of Asian descent, Los Angeles is really an incredible place. It's always made me feel at home and welcome here. I would never have run for office anywhere else. This is a city that means so much to me, especially because issues around hate and bullying are so personal to me and to my own experience, growing up in a less tolerant time and in a much less tolerant part of the country. They shaped who I am. They made it harder for me to feel like my opinions, my skills, or my leadership were as worthy as those around me. But I think what has been hardest about this year has been that as much as we would like to say that hate, violence, bullying is something that happens elsewhere, we really have to grapple with the fact that our city, our county, our state has experienced a staggering rise in hate crimes targeting the AAPI community and increased bullying. I'm really proud to serve in this current capacity and to do everything I can to stand up to hate and to bullying in the hopes that our next generation here in this city, including my young son and daughter, need never experience these same things. And I'm really proud to be working alongside all of my colleagues here towards that goal. I want to encourage everyone listening and everyone in our city to really stand with us in this issue, to speak out when you see it, and to encourage people who experience it to speak up and to report it when it happens. I'd like to pass now, I believe, to my colleague, Councilmember O'Farrell, who is also going to say, is that?
I've got Mr. De Leon on the queue.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay.
Is it Mr. De Leon?
I think it's Mr. De Leon.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
Mr.
very
De
much.
Leon. Go ahead.
Madam President.
Sorry about that.
I'd like to also join my colleagues, both Ms. Rahman as well as Mr. Lee, in expressing my deep solidarity. Having had the opportunity and the deep honor to represent all of Koreatown, historic Filipino town, Thai town, Little Bangladesh, Little Tokyo, as well as Chinatown. You know, all of our Asian American communities coming together, which is a deep part of the fabric of our community. And I'd like to highlight that when Mr. Lee had mentioned the Chinese Exclusion Act, passing at the federal level in Washington, D.C. That act actually originated in our very own state in California, in the very red carpet that I used to preside over, that both Mr. Curran Price, as Mr. Gil Cedillo, and Mr. Mark Willie Thomas were a part of, as well as Mr. Krikorian and Mr. Correz on the green carpet on the assembly side. That became law in our own great state of California, the Chinese Exclusion Act, and then it was federalized by then the U.S. Senator representing the state of California. So many of these anti-immigrant initiatives actually originated in what is now blue progressive state, California. And I had the honor of actually drafting and writing and being the architect of Assembly Concurrent Resolution number 42, which officially offered our own Chinese American community in the state of California the first official state apology due to the discrimination, the racism, the lynching of Chinese immigrants who helped build this railroad that would move goods as well as people up and down the state of California. And that was a measure I did with then Assemblymember Paul Fong. I had the honor to write that measure and to invite Paul Fong to be a joint author of that measure. And as a result, I think then member of Congress of Japanese American descent, Mike Honda, and our very own Judy Chu, the first Chinese American woman to actually be a member of Congress, took our AC 42 and adopted it at the national level. And that became the first federal government apology to the Chinese American community throughout California. I feel so compelled because representing Little Tokyo today, just recently, a few weeks ago, we dedicated the Rose OCHI Square on the corners of First Street and San Pedro, this great pioneering titan in our civil rights community. And the nexus between our communities of color, her growing up in our very own Wall Heights community that had a very large Japanese American population. And because of Executive Order 9066, by then FDR, interning all of our Japanese American citizens in these camps, famously the Manzanar camp, as well as camps in Arkansas and elsewhere throughout the country. This is what we did with our immigrant communities. And the latest vitriolic hatred that's not just verbal, but also physical towards our Indian community, whether you're Hindu or you're Sikh and you wear a turban and you pray a gurwada, and a lot of the animus that's harbored towards people from the Middle East and folks who are from the Punjab region of the north, who are confused with folks from the Middle East, to see, how the Asian American community as a whole has been victims of so much, racial hatred. Lastly, I'll say, and I'm so happy that Mr. Lee of Korean American descent and Ms. Rahman of Indian American descent and being an immigrant and coming to America, to the East Coast, and coming to California, and now our council member, a true American story, a California story, but being the first person of color, Latino, and also of Chinese American descent as well to lead our California State Senate has been an incredible honor. So I stand in solidarity with my brother, 감사합니다 for bringing this together. Mr. Lee, thank you, Ms. Rahman. And we stand in solidarity with each other because this is the time when we stand up and we speak for each other, we defend each other, and we back each other up, not just during the good times, but during the very difficult times. Thank you.
Mr. Cedillo?
What a pleasure it is to hear the President Pro Tem give us a history lesson. Professor from UCLA give us a history lesson each time these matters come up. I want to be a little more contemporary and simply thank the staff that I currently have: Debbie Kim, Chief of Staff, Maui Loman, Joe Gubaton, Tony Ricasa, members of the API community, from UCLA leaders as students and leaders in our community. It's an honor to serve the Vietnamese community of Lincoln Heights, historic Filipino community that I share with Councilmember Mitchell Farrow, parts of Koreatown, and of course, Chinatown. It's an honor to represent those communities. And I want to note other staffers who have worked for me, who have been champions. The first district director was Jerry Okamoto, who had a great history of public service. Lindsay Gervachi, who's was part of our team. Jerry Valero, who was a champion at Local 660, organizing Filipino nurses. Kimberly Yu, who has mastered transportation policy in the region. Marissa Abrahano, professor at UC San Diego of political science. All of them have been champions and role models in the community, and they deserve to be acknowledged, particularly during these difficult times. I note also that Mr. De Leon meant to mention that Warren Furitani, one of the leaders of the movement coming out of UCLA with Stuart Quo, is a staff member, was a member in the legislature and a former staff member, also a member of the Los Angeles Unified School Board. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. O'Farrell?
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Mr. Lee, Ms. Rahman, Mr. De Leon, and Mr. Cedillo for your remarks and elevating this very important heritage celebration. I represent historic Filipino town, Koreatown, Thai town, Little Bangladesh, and it's one of the great honors and privileges of me being in office is that I have the ability to pull the levers of government to do all I can for this incredible diversity that I represent. And for any one group that has been the target of hatred, verbal and even physical attacks. I'm of LGBTQ heritage, and I've been the recipient of attacks, especially in my younger days. And so we have to band together and not accept, under any circumstance, bullying, intolerance, discrimination, bigotry, much less physical assaults because of our very identity. It's heinous, it's wrong. Violence never solves any problems whatsoever. Hate speech doesn't either. And we really have to come together and have a more elevated conversation when we have differences of opinion. And I think the city of Los Angeles plays a unique role in putting that forward, that message forward. And I join all of you in that effort. And there are things that we can do every day, all of us, with the power that we hold, and then just as everyday residents of the city of Los Angeles. Just this morning, I visited Seek to Involve Filipino Americans, SIPA, their new 63-unit permanent supportive housing project, affordable, very low income affordable housing project that I've worked with them on since 2013. It's under construction. It'll open sometime next year. It's an incredible project put together by SIPA and their friends and allies and affordable housing developers. Over the weekend, I worked with Koreatown Youth Community Center, KYCC, and we planted the first of 30 trees in Koreatown in my district, 2 blocks from where I used to live in the 1980s. And we planted trees, and they employ youth. They employ Korean American youth. And so we all have these opportunities. Yesterday, I interviewed Chancy Mortarel on Channel 35, who is the founder and executive director of the Thai CDC, which is the Thai Development Center. And we've been working with Chancy and the Thai CDC for several years on a jobs incubator there at Hollywood and Western, where we're bringing farmers in to sell fresh produce and provide jobs and economic activity within the Thai community. I have the great pleasure of working in the Bangladeshi community also. And this is really a great privilege, and we have to recognize as Angelenos how, as trite as it might sound, how the diversity really makes us so incredibly strong, and the influence that we have over the rest of the country on sharing that message of inclusivity, understanding, and acceptance. So I stand with all of you in celebrating AAPI Heritage Month and condemning hate, violence, bigotry, assaults, verbal assaults, wherever they may be. The only way to stand up to bullies is to bite back and never back down and never accept being the recipient of hate or hate speech. And so it is in that spirit that we stand together for a better Los Angeles and a better future for everyone, no matter how they identify. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Lee.
I'd like to take a second to recognize Commissioner Jessica Caloza.
Is she in our meeting?
Yes, she is.
Okay, letter N.
Yeah, no, she's in. Ms. Caloza?
Ms. Caloza, would you like to say a few words? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam President, and good morning, almost afternoon to the entire City Council. Thank you so much to my generous co-chairs of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, Councilmember Lee and Councilmember Rahman. It's been a huge privilege to host a month-long programming for our community this month. I was just tallying up our schedule, and we are hosting 9 events for the city of LA for our community this month. And it ranges from so many things, from the kickoff that we had a week or 2 ago with so many AAPI leaders being uplifted in our community, to a screening of Minari that Councilmember Lee will host at the end of this month, to some community cleanups that we've been hosting across the city. In particular, a large community day of service coming up this Saturday, May 22nd, that I just wanted to plug and share with everyone here. Our goal for this programming is really to bring light to the theme of this year that everyone's already talked about, is uplifting the AAPI community, especially in a time where they feel attacked, where they feel unsafe, where they feel like they aren't able to go out in the public, go to the grocery store, maybe even get vaccinated. And so the event on Saturday is really to be out in the community, to be strategic and continuing to deepen and build our relationships. And we're going to be in, I think, almost all the ethnic AAPI enclaves that were mentioned already, but we'll be in Chinatown, Little Tokyo, Koreatown, Little Bangladesh, historic Filipino town, and Thai town. And so if you're listening, I invite you to come out and join us. We'll be out in the community from 10 to 12. And the last few things I just wanted to say as well, to add to what everybody already mentioned, is that This AAPI Heritage Month in particular is really special for the community. We know that a lot of people have been serving as frontline workers across all industries. For the Filipino community, we know that there's been a disproportionate impact on nurses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Within our own city family, we also have many Asian American employees who participated in the city's disaster service worker program to provide aid to our most vulnerable during the pandemic. And that's why it's time for us to continue to come together and uplift these voices. The last thing I wanted to share before I believe we have some remarks from the mayor to introduce, that I wanted to share about why these stories are so important and why celebrating our heritage is so important. A group that was recently started, it's called Launch, put out a survey recently asking Americans to name one or two Asian American figures in history. Over 40% of those who responded couldn't name a single Asian American that they could think of that was prominent. The second and third answers were Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. And Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, of course, are iconic figures in the entertainment industry in their own right, but I think it's important for us to continue elevating people like our Vice President Kamala Harris, who's South Asian and the first Asian American woman, people like Attorney General Rob Bonta, who is our first Filipino American Attorney General in the state of California, Chloe Zhao, who won an award for her film in Nomadland. So that's really what this month is about, is to continue uplifting these voices, because Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are not just part of the story and the beauty of Los Angeles, but also our nation. And so with that, just happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and also quickly happy National Public Works Week in my other hat. And I believe there's a video to play from the mayor as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioners. Great to see you. Do we have the video available?
Every May, we mark Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, highlighting the vital role that Asian American, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders play in our society. We celebrate the AAPI leaders blazing the trail to a better life for all Americans. Leaders like LA's own Kamala Harris, our nation's first South Asian and Black Vice President, and Rob Bonta, my dear friend and our state's first Filipino American Attorney General. Or artists like Chloe Zhao, the first Asian American and woman of color to win the Oscar for Best Director, and so many others whose names we will never know, but whose contributions we feel all around us. Our AAPI neighbors have helped write our city's and our nation's story, but it took a long, sustained struggle to achieve this recognition. Only after decades of advocacy by the AAPI community and allies did Congress formally declare this month in 1990. More than 3 decades later, we have made progress, but the fight for recognition and dignity and equality continues to this day. We have so much work to do to close the income gap for AAPI workers, to achieve fair representation in media for Asian Americans of all skin tones, to fight for greater language access across our communities, and to place AAPI residents at the center of diversity and inclusion initiatives. We must make our city and our nation a place where there is no tolerance for violence, hate crimes, or discrimination against Asian Americans, a place where everyone belongs. And this work falls on all of our shoulders and calls for each of us to do our part. So let's get to work and let's celebrate this extraordinary community and this great month. I'm wishing you a very happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
Mr. Lee, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for everyone's comments today. Today is a special, this month is a special month to us. And I'm glad that we get to highlight people who have made a difference in our city all throughout the months. So thank you very much, Commissioner, for joining us. And thank you to my colleagues. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to adjourning motions. Mr. Blumenfield? Mr. Blumenfield, do you have an adjourning motion? Mr. Blumenfield, you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, we still can't hear you. Ms. Rodriguez, do you have an adjourning motion?
Yes, Madam President.
Go right ahead.
Colleagues, thank you. Colleagues, today I ask that we adjourn in memory of the Honorable Michael T. Sauer, who passed away peacefully surrounded by his family on May 14th, 2021. He was preceded in death by his wife of 45 years, Marianne Sidenfaden Sauer. Michael was born on December 13th, 1937, and was one of 4 brothers. A lifelong resident of Los Angeles in Council Districts 4 and 5, he attended St. Brendan's School, Loyola High School, University of Santa Clara, and Loyola Law School. As a member of the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office, he argued the freedom of speech case, Cohen v. California, before the United States Supreme Court in 1971. In 1972, at the age of 35, he was appointed to the municipal court bench and served as a member of the Los Angeles Municipal and Superior Courts until his retirement in 2008. He will be remembered as a loving son, father, grandfather, uncle, and man of faith and great kindness. He is survived by his daughters, Anne Marie and Michelle, his sons-in-laws, Michael Hale and Jose Portes, and grandchildren, Micaela, Marissa, Spencer, and Indiana. He is also survived by his brothers, Kearney and Anthony, as well as countless nieces and nephews. May he rest in peace.
Thank you. Mr. Blumenfield?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I had an issue there. Thank you, and I'd like to ask that we adjourn in the memory of Jerry Mark Wayne. He was the executive director of the Valley Jewish Community Center. He was a lifer, or what they call a lifer at the JCC, because he goes back, his affiliation goes back to being a kid in New York City, worked as a JCC kid, so to speak, and he worked his way up. He actually got his master's degree in social work from San Diego State University. He's living proof of how fine a person can be. He was a true friend to so many of us, and those closest to him told me that he was a good boss to the people in his charge and an amazing colleague. The character of the life he lived can be summed up in a few words: dedication, sincerity, and passion. As the executive director of the Valley JCC, he guided the community for many years and provided inspiration, direction, and professional leadership. He gave his tremendous energy and commitment and guidance to so many members of the community, including the volunteers at the Valley JCC, his friends, his family, his staff. He's always going to be remembered as a very positive person, one who was not only optimistic, but brought just cheerfulness to others. He had a good sense of humor, a gentle demeanor, and a smile for everyone. He's creative, bright, logical, and systematic in his thinking. As I mentioned, he had a master's degree in social work. He helped so many people professionally during his career, but he also used those skills, his intellect, his heart, to make a real impact through community service. He's going to be greatly missed. Our sorrow is lessened only slightly with the comforting thought that we had the privilege of knowing him. And we'll grieve for Jerry, but smile because of the joy he brought all of us. Although he's gone, he will certainly remain in our hearts. May his memory be a blessing.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ridley Thomas?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd ask that we adjourn in honor of the beloved community leader, that is the Reverend Galen L. Rivers, who passed away peacefully on May 8th after a lengthy battle with cancer. Reverend Rivers was born in Detroit on June the 14th, 1949. He attended Wayne State University, where he earned his BA in psychology and sociology. He went on to receive a master's in administration from Cal State University, Dominguez Hill, and then master's in theology from Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena. It was in 1983 he was ordained into the United Church of Christ, and in 1984 began pastoring the Pilgrim Congregational United Church of Christ, where he served for 10 years. In 1995, he began serving as pastor at the Lincoln Memorial Congregational Church of Christ, where he inspired members to serve their community through outreach programs, youth mentoring, SAT prep, and so much more. His dedication to service and God extended beyond his pastorship. Served in leadership capacities for community organizations as well as faith-based organizations, United Church of Christ Board of Homeland Ministries, the South Central Covenant Academy for Urban Ministry, which he co-founded, the Board of Directors of the Los Angeles Metropolitan Churches, and the Black Korean Alliance, as well as when I met him in the early 80s at the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Reverend Rivers also founded Amistad Development Corporation, through which he built Amistad Family Apartments, a 56-unit affordable housing complex here in the city of Los Angeles, located in the 8th District. I was pleased to work with him and to deliver that project in the 90s. So Amistad catalyzed the development of Chesterfield Square at the time. It is the first major retail development project completed in South LA, more than a decade at that time, that's subsequent to the civil unrest. So Reverend Rivers, he also oversaw the development of the Lincoln Family Life Center that is dedicated to youth, community services, and established a nonprofit organization in its name. Now the nonprofit, as well as the building it is based out of, celebrates his life, that of his life's companion, his wife, Kathy, and that dedication to transformational leadership and community activism that he represented. Galen Rivers inspired many, and his legacy will never be forgotten. May he rest in peace and power. And I'd like to invite my colleague, Mr. Harris Dawson, to join in acknowledging passage of the Reverend Galen Rivers.
Thank you, sir.
Madam President.
Thank you. Any other adjourning motions, members?
Madam Chair, with
Yes.
Mr. Ridley Thomas's permission, I'd like to be added to that adjourning motion for Reverend Rivers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other adjourning motions, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.